Good morning, guys. We are 2 hours into London session. Just going to go through what I'm looking at so far. I did put some analysis through the chat, but let's just kind of have a little bit more of a rundown. So, dollar, we've come back up into our last point that we could come into before actually kind of breaking and shifting structures. This is, I believe, when we had that FOMC meeting. We had a clean break structure here. I'm just looking for price to actually come back up and test this zone. I don't or wouldn't be surprised if price potentially come back up one more time and run and then come back down potentially. We could see something like that, or we could just start seeing some lower movements, or if price did actually want to just come run and take up this high, because yes, we did sweep a lot of the liquidity in here, but we do still have a lot of zones which potentially could still be tested and mitigated again up here. But this is the main one that I'm really going to be focusing on and looking at. So if we do break this zone, that's going to give me more of a bias of what is actually looking to happen. Nothing, in my opinion, is looking that interesting, to be honest. We can go into other pairs. US30, again, nothing really. We've had a full test. This daily zone, we had this accumulative distribution that happened. We had that hourly zone. Price came in and tested that hourly distribution, and then we've just been breaking down ever since. First POI I was looking for was this 15-minute, and in the 50% of this 15-minute, we did have this 5-minute, which had not yet been tested. And then also looking for this zone in here. It's on an hourly. There you can see hourly, we swept these small highs just in here, buy to sell. So I was looking for this zone to potentially get met. So far, we are just breaking lower and lower. Unless we go into London, unless we go into the New York and see some moves, I'm still going to be targeting down and out this low. I do have targets down lower, but we haven't even really kind of achieved this target yet, so I'm going to wait to see kind of what happens with this pair. Nothing, again, in my opinion. I mean, it was American bank holiday yesterday. Nothing really interesting, in my opinion, so far. But not every day is a trading day. Not every week is kind of a trading week, so we will wait and see. NAS, again, same situation. I am looking for kind of anywhere within this zone to be met. I would quite like to see 50% of this range get met. Dropping it on the hourly, you can see we just have a small area of supply in here, which I was looking for, which actually came in and tested previous small supply, which we had then a little flip from here. I actually did have a short in on this pair, literally like up here and going into London. I think it was actually about here going into London. Price came down and we actually hit our first target, and then price came down, hit our second target. Had we'd held, that would have been very nice. It would have been running what, 470 pips, so that would have been nice to see. Again, it does not matter. It is what it is. So again, today I'm just going to be going and waiting to go into the New York session to see if we are going to get any movement. I do want to see if we can potentially take out this low, whether price now is just going to run and just keep heading down. We could see that possibility, or unless we're potentially going to run and then kind of come back up again, that also could be a possibility. So really and truly, I am just waiting on my hands to see what does happen, but I do want to see at least some sort of move back up into this zone before shorting again. If we actually get a confirmed break of this level, that's going to be nice. Daily break, daily retracement to then daily continuations. So that is NAS. Let's go and check out if I can touch it. Euro pound. Euro pound, I'm still waiting for longs. I was looking for shorts yesterday, following this whole trail and this whole mitigation trail. I did want to see price come back up into this zone. I could very well see us potentially just taking out this low and then potentially heading back a little bit higher. Going into yesterday, I was looking for potential shorts off here. I did want to see if we could have this generation, that we could have that run to then actually come back down. I'm not really too sure what happened this morning, if I'm going to be honest. And I'm sure there was some sort of news, 9:30, I'm sure there's probably news that came out. So just potentially looking for this zone to get met. I did have an order in here. I have actually deleted it now. I do want to see if I can look for some sort of accumulation, wait for the raid, and just wait for the breaks of structure, probably more so something like this. Yeah, so I'm going to be waiting for something in and around the lines of this, just like a real nice accumulation that we can look to trade off and into. So far, again, nothing really exciting has been happening. Again, just is what it is. AU looking for potentially this whole area to get met. If we're looking for the swings, we have our low, lower high, lower low. So from this high to this low, you can see that my 786 fib is lining up really, really nicely with the 50% of kind of this zone. So this is looking nice for potential shorts. Now, whether we are going to just continue lower, that could potentially be a possibility. We could very much well see this high get run and then kind of head up. I do potentially think we will see something like this going into the New York session. That is definitely on the table. Usually what you see is kind of going into London, New York, Asian, London, New York, and then kind of just as the sessions cross over, you do get different momentum moves. So we will definitely wait and see what happens with that. Gold is kind of coming close to my first order that I've actually placed. It's only 0.5% risk, so nothing crazy. I'm looking at actually placing this because we did actually come into and achieve a high time frame zone, and we actually liquidated actually this zone as well. So because we had actually liquidated this zone, I did want to see if we could kind of get a little bit of a push on the high time frame. We have actually started to kind of have a little bit of a momentum shift, which is why I was kind of really looking for this zone. You can see this is where our low, low high, lower low, lower high, lower low technically, because this is our breaker structure. Price come up again. We just swept this high, came down, breaker structure. So now we were technically looking for this zone to go short from. You can see we did actually just start to break above that. So yes, in all reality, we could just drop, and that is fine. I am looking off of this hourly zone in here and dropping it onto a 5-minute as well. Onto a 5-minute, you can see we have a really, really clean kind of sell to buy movement that did actually sweep and test a lot of all of this zone. So this is going to be quite nice to see if we can get some sort of reactions from the 50% of this whole hourly zone is kind of lining up really nicely with this 5-minute zone as well. I'm not really looking for any crazy trades or crazy moves. I do have an order in at the open, so potentially going into today or going into tomorrow, we could see that test and that trade move potentially back up into this zone. This is potentially the same zone as AU, kind of waiting for that buy to sell on gold as well, potentially just waiting for that buy to sell, see if we could potentially go a bit deeper. If not, if price is potentially going to respect this zone and then actually start heading up, we could eventually see that as well. But so far, this is really and truly all I'm looking at. There isn't actually anything too exciting that I'm looking for on the board. It doesn't always have to be anything exciting. Sometimes it just is what it is, unfortunately. Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what happens with these pairs. But if you guys have got any questions, please let me know. Feel free to fire away, and those help you as much as I can. Please remember, if there is no setups, please don't force anything. I've done this many times in the past, and it literally just gets you nowhere. So might as well just sit on your hands. Patience kind of really does pay in trading. So just be patient, sit and wait, and who knows, potentially going into New York, we could see some steps. So, like I said, if you guys got any questions, please let me know. Feel free to fire away, and I will help you as much as I can. All right, guys.